I kind of do these longer videos for Saturday morning, and they're very unscripted in case you hadn't noticed. But one of the things I've been thinking a lot about is how we learn. To become an author, it requires you to be teachable. And teachable can mean a lot of things. It can mean vulnerable. It can mean that sometimes we suspend our critical faculties because we want something so much. I remember years ago, this lawyer came and spoke to our writers group, and he said that con men and con women and con people can't con you if you don't have something that you want that you think they can give you. That they con people who need money, and they con people who need recognition. And authors usually need both of these things. So we tend to be kind of easy to be conned, which is why scam publishers and everybody flourish, because authors can be an easy mark for scamming. So as you're making this journey and from maybe just thinking about becoming a writer, or maybe you've written a book, being teachable to me also means being smart about it. It takes time to figure out what you don't know, and that can be a vulnerability gap as you're trying to figure all this stuff out. If someone comes and tells you, oh, you're wonderful and your book is wonderful, you want to believe it. You really need to believe it, but at the same time, you need to believe that they aren't there for you, they're there for them. Even in a business relationship, everyone needs to look out for their interests. That's a really natural thing to do. The best kind of business relationships are ones where both interests are protected. So that would be my first teachable thing, is try to find out what you don't know and try to learn what the people who are telling you, if they're credible or not. If someone's praising you too much, telling you that they can get you a movie deal and a publishing deal and an agent, I'm sorry, but don't believe them. Find out, if they're for real or not. Lightning does strike sometimes in authors' lives, and it's just enough to give us all hope. But we need to be careful with our hope and be careful with our resources, emotional and financial and physical, because publishing is a really tough business to be in. The other part of being teachable for me is to be open to knowing that you don't know everything, but also being open to knowing that you're smart enough to learn. And I think that's one place where authors also get sucked into things, is because we think that we think that creative people aren't business people, and that if you're creative, that you just are somehow above all that. But the things that we write and the things we create are important to us, and we owe them our best efforts in learning how to write them and in writing them, and then taking care of them. They call it intellectual property for a reason, because it came from our heads. And if you're smart enough to learn how to write a book, you're smart enough to learn how to manage its delivery into the world. And if anybody tells you that, including yourself, that it's too hard, you might remind yourself that I did all these other things, and I'm competent, and I'm able to learn. I'm teachable, but I'm not gullible. And just be smart for yourself and for your intellectual property. And you can have a wonderful writing adventure that may not make you a lot of money, but you can also have a wonderful writing adventure that doesn't cost you more money than you can afford.